Yo, so finally you made that out as you were thinking back then. You successfully created your Shopify store. You did some marketing. You ran some ads on social media or Google maybe, and you got those sales. Congratulations. And now you are planning to scale up on ads and marketing so you can scale your entire business and enjoy those profits. Am I right? But to be very honest, I did the same, and let me give an honest reality check on this. If you got every sale through ads and now you are planning to scale up all your business the same way you did it before, it's not gonna happen that way. You'll end up losing each and every dollar that you spend on ads, and your margin will start slowly dying. And after some time, you might come across a place or a point where you will need to make a decision of should I continue this or should I stop it over here. Okay, let's keep this all aside for some time. You must be thinking, who is this guy in front of the camera telling me all about this? I'm Nak, and I've spent last 2 years on just learning about customers' thinking and psychology behind buying things. And one notable thing which I learned is that the world is changing constantly, and it's changing on a very fast scale. And probably you also know that nothing is same as it was 5 years back, 2 years back, or even 3 years back. So, to stay all in with this trend, you will need to adapt things quickly and on a very fast scale as the world is changing. And we are going to discuss on all those things that are responsible for maintaining profits and scaling successfully. Also, let me not keep you in a dark place. Let me be very transparent with you. Here is my smartphone, and I'm not sure if you can see it clearly, but you will see a Shopify notification over here. So these are all the orders that I have generated. So before telling anything to you, I have tried and tested all those things personally, and then only I'm going to discuss them with all you. So I think I'm sure enough about the things which I'm going to tell you in this video. And yes, I talk a lot about myself, but this video is not about me. It's all about your business scalability with maintained profits. So it completely depends upon you to trust me or not. And let's not waste more time and let's get directly into it. So as you can see over here, 3 years ago, 3 years ago, running ads was cheap. But if you see it today, the cost per click means the average CPC has almost doubled, and it's only going up. And I'm not just throwing words out of my mouth, I'm talking completely based on data. I will also try to share all the links of these articles that I'm using in this video in the description box below, so you can check them out yourself. But if you have run some ads before, you probably know about this. Okay, so if we see 4 years back, the average cost per click in US was around $1 to $2, and in 2023 the average CPC increased to $4.22, which is almost double. Now so far in 2025 it already crossed $5. Now what does this shows? That the CPC graph is continuing the uptrend, and it will continue to rise in future due to the attention span and other stuff that we are going to discuss later in this video. And beside customer acquisition costs, there are hundreds of costs associated with e-com. You probably know about that. That could be shipping charges, Shopify fees, etc, etc. And if you still think that you can keep scaling profitably with ads alone, let me show you what's exactly happening over here. Now imagine this sea as a whole market, and the sand below this is your targeted customer. So you have whole market in front of you, and you also know your ideal customer profile, or you know who is your targeted customer. So for here, your targeted customer is the sand below the whole sea water. Now let's assume this bucket as your store. You have a bucket, which means your store, and you want your targeted customers in the bucket. What do you think? Where it would be so easy for you to collect all the sand so easily? You probably have two options: in the middle of the sea or near the shore. Let's say somehow you manage to target the shore using your ads, and now you try to dip your bucket in the sea, but when you take it out to see what's inside, you will see it's still mostly filled with water and a little amount of sand in it. Now I want you to pause this video if you want and think about it, because the same will happen with your business if you run targeted ad campaigns for your products. So let's brainstorm a little about it and see what do we understand from this. It is really possible to reach your targeted customers so easily through ads, but the chances of converting them into buyers that repeatedly purchase from you are extremely low. That's exactly what happens when you rely on ads. Most people are not buying, they are just scrolling, skipping, or maybe moving on. You see, the problem here isn't your ad. The problem is the human psychology. If you see here, the studies shows that the normal attention span of an average person who uses social media is less than a goldfish, and which is about 3 seconds. That shows that normal human beings need just 3 seconds to distract themselves. They use social media whenever they feel bored, or let's say in their free time. They get constant hits of dopamine with each content or reel they see. Now, do you really think that your 5-second skippable ad is going to stop them and make them break all the rules which their brain is not allowed to do them? Is your ad really that effective so it can change normal human behavior? Think about it. Maybe you will think that it could be that effective, and they will stop and they will continue doing the actions of adding into cart and buying things. To be very honest, they are very used to the action of scrolling the reels because the constant hit of dopamine that they are getting. Even if they stop at your reel, there are very less chances of them to stop your reel until and unless your reel is designed that way or your ad is designed that way. There are very less chances. Let's say they stop over there, it is very hard to make them take actions to go to your page, to go to your website and complete that order. Maybe you think that your product is so super amazing that they will do all this stuff, but unfortunately, businesses aren't scaled that way. Think about this a bit. You're watching this video right now because it caught your attention, right? But most consumers, they don't care. They see an ad, the brain immediately thinks skip. Why? Because social media had trained them to ignore ads and consume content instead. So now, what do if ads alone won't help us to scale our business? What will help us then? The solution is simple. When you run ads for your businesses, it means that you yourself are going towards the customer. You do retargeting and all. That means you are going to your customer again and again and again. And it's normal psychology that when they get to see the same thing again and again and again, there are very less chances of them to get convinced. But there are very high chances of them getting bored, because it's a normal human psychology that people get bored of the things that they see again and again and again and again. And this is what we are doing with retargeting ads. So that means you are presenting your product to your customers. Now, what if we change this shift a little bit? What if someone suggests our product to them? If we market our product in this way, the trust factor probably increases because they themselves are discovering our product. They themselves are choosing to trust on us. We are not going to them. So the trust factor here probably increases. The chances are very high. And the key is to create content that build trust and make customers choose you. Let me show you an example. These are some of the analytics of one of the store that I have scaled recently. Whatever you see here is all using content. Content that builds trust and communicates with your message with the audience to make it a brand that customers choose over competitors. Let me tell you a short backstory of this store. So on this store, they were spending around $8,000 to $10,000 a month. They were getting close to $30,000 to $35,000 in sales on an average per month. But when we look at their margin, they were on break even, or even at some places they were in loss also. $10,000 have been spent into ads, sourcing charges, shipping charges, and a lot of miscellaneous charges. Combining all them, it was very hard for them to maintain profits. So the plan is very simple. First of all, refine the margins. When I say refine the margin, I mean to get some good margins to work on before scaling on that brand. Because if we don't have margin, it doesn't make any sense of scaling the brand also. So what we did is we completely shifted the brand on only content, organic content. I started creating content around the brand, which after a few months completely eliminated the ad cost. Now they were getting more traffic due to content as compared to the traffic they were getting by running ads on their store by spending $8,000 to $10,000 a month. Now you can see this is the analytics where there is zero ad spend, all was organic, all was through content. All was organic, all was through content. And now what happened over here? They don't need any ad cost to bring in sales, so they have saved up $8,000 to $10,000 each month, and that created a space for them to maintain the margins. And due to that, the customer acquisition cost came completely down. They get more time to manage things, and due to that, this plan made them profitable instead of just burning out or staying on break even. And as you can see now, they are having a very healthy profit margins, and we are now ready to scale. First of all, we created a USP for that brand, because in such a competitive market, it is very essential for your brand to have a unique selling proposition to stand out. Second thing, we understood the vision of the brand, so we educated and entertained all the customers instead of just hard selling, instead of retargeting them to buy my product. And also we kept transparency with audience so they can trust, and use some additional strategies to create FOMO and loyalty among customers, and it results a long-term brand which is now acting as an important asset for that company, which they can use anytime, so that their acquisition costs drop, their profits increase, and they have built a loyal community now, and they are now ready to scale. So let's be real. Would you rather keep burning your money on ads that people usually 90% of the time skips, or create content that pulls people in, build trust, and turns them into loyal buyers? This is exactly how brands like Nike, Gymshark, and even small D2C brands are winning. They just don't sell. Instead, they create a movement, they create a journey for their customer to convert them into a loyal buyer who repeatedly orders from the same brand or always choose the same brand each time. Now, but building trust and loyal audience takes time, but it's really worth it. If you want to implement this in your brand as well and to make it ready for long term, I will keep adding content here on this channel so you can learn and implement. I have compiled a free guide that shows you exactly how to create engaging content that attract customers and build trust. The link is given in the description box. You can check that out. But if you want it to be done by experts and very quickly in short time, I have added a link to connect to us as well. No pressure. If you want, you can check it out and see if we can help you out also. Peace out.